Hello. So today I want to make a small confession. I failed myself at game development and primarily in the art style or type of view I have on the game. Right now you see that it's more top-down type of map and it's not isometric anymore. So everything is plain, corners are 90 degrees. It's not what it used to be some time ago when everything was like, under an angle. The reason being is I suck at development and my coding skills don't allow me to do depth sorting uh, correctly in isometric space, but this is actually more easy for me right now because the only depth sorting thing I need to consider is how far on the y-axis the character actually is. And to be frank, the entire level doesn't seem that different than it used to be. Um, what's cool about this is now I'm kind of free to express the ideas a bit more. And I'm really glad that, the game thing looks more like Resident Evil Gaiden, actually. I researched the types of games I could make. So, yeah, it's quite common, actually. So that's that. Now, about the gameplay stuff, I have added a bit more logic to the thing. Let me actually bring back the debug mode. All right. So with the simplification of the rendering, so it's not isometric anymore, I'm more free to play around with triggers from tiled. Let me actually show you that. For example, the door. Where's my door? There it is. So the door, as previously, has the collision, like general collision, and a sensor parameter. So whenever we enter this, we'll be able to propagate some message with JSON logic scripting mechanism I showed sometime previously. So that's that. And now I'm also using this door as a smart tile. So it's not tile layer, it's logic layer. My face is covering everything. Yeah, let me be here. All right. You can still see me. All right. So it's on the tile logic now. And whenever we enter or interact with the trigger area, now I'm going to be here. All right. What will actually happen is I'm also adding additional logic to the trigger area, and we've got some more rules of JSON logic rules over here. So if our blackboard or context of the level has variable talked to enemy and it's equal to true, then I will change the tile of that door to 17, which actually is this tile ID 17. And initially that variable is of course false, and in order to be able to open the door, I need to actually talk to enemy. So whenever I enter this trigger area, I am setting the talk to enemy to true, and the character is gonna say something, the enemy, and blah 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 blah. And after that is done, again, yeah, the tile will change. But if we don't have the variable true, I added additional object saying, okay, if this pre-enter rule fails, at least do something else, trigger another dialogue or another sequence of logic. So it's else statement pretty much. And the player is going to say, all right, talk to the butcher. Let's see that in action. So I enter here, talk to butcher first, because we don't have that variable set up. Let's run towards the butcher. He says, here's the key, and go open the door. Go, baby, go. Oh man, I need to make this level shorter. And bam. Alright, so that's cool. Again, depth sorting is way easier in this way. Isometric depth sorting was kind of pain, and I actually wasted a lot of time trying to configure that, and I made way too many mistakes in isometric depth sorting stuff, and it wasn't even worth the time anymore. What I am able to do right now with all the top-down rendering is this actually. So I am able to show my character right in front of the bigger object. I drew it in an isometric style. Actually, here it is. Right, it's just another object. And continuation of that over here, it's taller, is just another tile which happens to be here, and these two complete each other. And the trick I did over here is, well, I am showing the bottom part as a separate tile and the top part as another separate tile. And it's always above. These above things are always on top. I couldn't care less about what happens in there. All I care is that I don't have to worry about depth sorting. I just crank the specific tiles way above other layers, and they seem to be, you know, on top always, and visually it looks just the way I need it to. So if we go to the code again, game top scene, my collisions start on matter world physics engine. Looks slightly different now. My process game dialog function can return if it was kind of processed. So if I return some true statement, I know for sure that there's some activity that needs to happen. So I know that at least for triggers, objects without sprite or without an image, I might want to remove them. So that's that. And the most important thing here is I'm also setting whatever trigger, started the the collision start procedure, I wanted to sleep for this frame at least. That actually saves a lot of CPU power. So if I go in here, this collision is able to at least stop processing on each frame. Before that, I had this event triggered on every frame, and the text would never disappear. So that's cool. And that's that. The ideas slowly converge into some sort of engine idea, and I'm really glad how it's turning out to be. So the main logic I got here is stepping back from the main idea of the vision of a visual look, in this case isometric view, was really stopping me from advancing forward, and now I'm able to go ahead and continue with actual story. Actually, I've got my scripting system kind of done. All right, that's that for the update. It's been a while.